what you got. Show them how you get up in your bag. Show them that swag. What you see is what you get. When I look in the mirror, I'm looking like a man. Like we playing tag bad, I'm the top pick. Show them what you're working with. Break the circuit, be a hit. Go ahead and make them sit. If you gotta hate it, then your purpose is equipped. Tell them catch you later, cause you serving up some grits. Meaning hot with the drip when I drop in the mix. The proof is in the pudding. Show them how you do it. They do it like they shouldn't. You don't need to brag, cause your competition couldn't. You don't need to boast, cause the proof is in the pudding. Show them that swag. Show them that swag. Show them that swag. Show them that swag. Show them what you got. Show them how you get up in your bag. Show them that swag.
Hey guys, I think
Hello.
Go ahead and jump in.
Okay.
For those of you who do not know, I am Stevie Williams. I am a part of the customer success team here at Photo Day. I have Carinna Boatwright from Smacks Photography joining us today. Just for those who do not know about Smacks Photography, they do mostly volume sports, a lot of youth, and some high school. You guys were early adopters of Photo Day, and you have crafted a lot of best practices that have proved to be super successful on our platform. So I know we're going to be going over some insider tips with you. This is our updated version. Just a little piece of housekeeping before we get started. I know people will probably have questions. So we have the regular chat. Please chime in the chat as we go along. That is really exciting to see. But if you have questions that you want answered, we'll do that at the end. And there's a special section of the chat that says Q&A only. So leave questions in that section and we'll try to get to all of them at the end. Okay.
Oh, the Q&A part. Do I see that or do you just see it?
So over on the right-hand side, do you see the chat? So up at the top, there's a Q&A only tab. So you'll be able to see that.
Okay.
So you can click over to that once we get to it.
Okay. Once we go live with that. Okay.
Yes. And they'll probably stack up as we go, hopefully. And I'll read them out, I'll call them out and get your answers. So.
All right.
Okay. Let's jump in.
Okay.
So, here is the beautiful Smacks team. Here is Jay.
There we are.
So amazing. I love these photos.
Do you love our new family? We call it our family photo. We were just, I made everybody wear the same color, like we were at the beach.
Literally the khaki.
Yes. Yes.
And the dogs are an important part of the team too. I know they do.
They handle all of my customer service complaints. So
exactly. Office dogs.
Yes.
Okay. So you guys have, of course, carved a strategy with Photo Day that you've shared a lot over the years. So this webinar is going to go over the things that you find important. But I know you also have some exciting things to share that you have kind of changed this year that have, made even more positive results. So I think at this point, I'm going to turn it over to you so that you can give us a little backstory and we will go from there.
Sure.
Okay, hold on. 1 second, guys.
I know there's a slide that says backstory.
Yes, there is.
Okay. Well, you know what? What I'll do is I'll start talking about me and Jay. And, what happened is that what kind of brought this about with wanting to talk specifically about this with pricing in particular is that me and Jay, we attend a lot of conventions. And so this past, what was it, February, we were at SPAC and Lisa had talked about releasing a download all option. And I was talking with Jerry Hughes and just a few other photographers and we're trying to figure out, I know there's a few of them that already offer it. And so I kind of did some brainstorming with them at that point about what to do with the pricing. And we kind of went over everything. I'm trying to figure out what their best practices were already. So that's kind of like the backstory about where this whole talk came about. But now that we have the studio backstory pulled up, okay, so we do only high volume sports. We do some high schools. We've been in the business now for 17 years. So we started with paper order forms. there's some of you out there that I watch the Facebook pages, and I know that you've never done paper order forms because you don't understand.
Tumbling.
You don't understand what Photo Day has, how it has broadened, the money making capability for volume sports. So some of you who've never done it, and some of them, they brag and they say, I get this percentage with my paper order forms. I promise you, I hate being a paper pusher. I'm not good at that part. So the great thing is that we met Photo Day at one of the conventions of all things. Like, everything is so convention driven. So if you don't go to conventions, you need to. But because that's where you're going to network and make contacts. But that's where we met Lisa and John and Rainer. It just happened to be actually at a GPA convention, and we ran into them, and like, for us, the rest is history. All I needed to hear, I was looking for a platform a lot like Photo Day. So me and Jay were constantly talking. We were trying to get away from paper order forms, which we did for about about 12 years. And then when COVID hit, we really went 100% straight into Photo Day. So for us, we always took beautiful pictures. That was kind of like our driving force. That's our studio backstory, is that we took beautiful pictures, but we could only do it with a paper order form. So we only were able to give them one image. What happened with Photo Day is that now we're able to, the creatives in our company, which is, all of the photographers that we have creatives, and they're able to be creative, and then also me, I'm the business minded person, and I'm able to drive a business in the direction that I want it to go by having a platform that opens up all these different ways that I can sell the pictures and keeps in contact with the customers. So, that's kind of our studio backstory with Photo Day, how smart it makes us seem. Right. And but also how we can present our pictures.
Awesome. Yeah. That is a great point. It takes care of the marketing, and it lets you guys be artists. And I know on this slide it says to compete on experience, not on price. I think that's we get into that a little bit, but that's one of y'all's philosophies. It's about the product that you offer, not about the pricing of the product. So.
Right. And we do, there's some people that I see, they're like so focused on their pricing and making things affordable. And the thing is, you kind of have to watch the trends. You kind of have to watch what's happening out there with the trends. Don't necessarily, don't sell to yourself, because you might be cheap. And there's a lot of people who aren't cheap. And so that's what I found, is that you have to look at your market, you have to look at your customer base, and you have to base it off of that. So we do, when we come in with Photo Day, the great thing is that we can come in with Photo Day. I always say that you have a few partners. And for us, our partner is going to be Photo Day, which is going to host our pictures. It's going to be Reedy Photo, which is going to be our lab. And those are going to be our two main assets with our company. Of course, we do our AI editing on the back end, but that's also really been a big thing for us. But all those things together, it's like it all came together in like this really beautiful little bundle for us to be able to thrive and make money with Photo Day.
Amazing. Okay, so I have some image examples so that everybody can see kind of the level of work you guys do. Super beautiful.
Yes, and we came into the market where it was just kind of like an on-camera flash, or it was just the paper order form click you took. We were not, we were supposed to be button pushers. We were told that's what we were supposed to do. And we're supposed to put everything into a memory mate. And we kind of rebelled against that. We didn't offer memory mates forever until we were kind of forced to, but it was not our main selling point. We didn't want to just create something that was just printed on paper, and we wanted to create like an entire experience. So I think that you can see with those pictures is that on a volume level is that we are able to bring that type of experience into volume photography.
Awesome. Okay, so before we get into pricing and things strategy-wise, on this slide, here's some things that are important for you guys to focus on that you found as a photography business selling on photo day. So about that.
Yeah. So, like I mentioned before, you have to pay attention to customer trends. I honestly walked into the grocery store one day and I realized that my favorite cereal went from $5.50 to $9.50.
Wow.
And I thought, okay, like cereal, people.
$10 cereal. Yeah.
Right? And people are paying for it. I'm literally like, okay, I guess this is what I'm going to pay for my cereal now. And so when, right? Like the thing is, like, I saw everything else going up. And so at that point, I kind of realized, I took a step back and I said, okay, this coming season, I'm increasing everything. Why is it that I have to be some type of martyr to absorb the cost? I see people, they're like, I want to absorb the cost. I want to give my customers, a product that is, affordable and such. But people pay when they see the images on photo day. The great thing about photo day is that we take the pictures, you put them on there, and then from there, once they see them, it's like they're going through the process in their head. There's like a psychological thing where they start to own the images, right? And so they're like, oh, I want that one, I want that one, I want that one. So, which is a great thing with the pricing going into kind of like our download all option, is that we're just able to offer all of those products right there. And you have to price it accordingly.
Right.
Price it accordingly.
Professional, you assign the value to the images by setting the prices. It's not the other way around.
Right. You can't let your customer dictate what you're willing to sell your products for. You really have to. It's kind of like if you've ever been to one of those classes and they're like, you have to start with how much money you want to make, and then you base it, going backwards from there. And really, that's how I've kind of done everything. Is I kind of come in. I came in this season in particular, and I said, okay, what am I happy making on this? And then I'm going to work backwards from there. So I had to take everything into account. I redid my pricing, okay, I'm going to get back on your bullet points though, because
we're talking about that stuff later.
We are. Okay, so don't let discounts drive your business. I'm 100%. I am the type of person that I don't offer any discounts. The only discount I do offer is like the advance pay credit, where I pay for the shipping. Besides that, which of course I'm going to lose money on the shipping. However, it kind of, people end up spending a few dollars more to kind of cover my shipping. Yeah. So don't let the discounts drive it. Simple marketing. I do use all of Photo Day's tools, marketing tools. I see so many people, they're like, well, what do you use for this? And what do you use for that aspect? I plug everything into Photo Day and I go straight from there. Like I use all their marketing tools. I keep it as simple as possible because we're a machine right now. Right now, I kind of call it our hell week because we're literally like every single day we're packing up, and we have 2 shoots every single night. And then on the weekends, we've been having 3 shoots, 3 shoots on a Saturday and 3 shoots on a Sunday.
Wow.
And those shoots on the weekends, by the way, are our big shoots. So so it's crazy right now. I don't have time to think about all the other little steps. Right? Like, oh, I need to jump in here. And oh, I need to jump into this software. Everything's right there in Photo Day. And if you use them correctly, they can be your greatest asset.
And also just sticking to the same thing over and over again, like having the strategy and the cutout timeframes. Basically not taking up too much time on things that don't make you
any money. Right? Yeah. I do things with like the shortest little path. I see where I want to go from point A to point B, and I try to figure out what's the shortest path to get there. So, which also leads to the editing time, the last bullet point. The editing time for us, we do use an AI program, whatever it is that you want to do, but we do use one and we run it through and we're able to get our pictures out in a day or two. And this is coming after a very long weekend, after the 3 shoot weekends. 3 shoot Saturday, 3 shoot Sunday, and then by Monday, Tuesday, we have everything up. So, yeah, I mean, use your software, pay for it, because it will, in the end, allow you to drive your business forward.
Yeah, and I think it's important to note at that point too, like getting your pictures out in a timely manner. Of course, I think that's like an insanely short amount of time at this point, which you guys have gotten down to. But, you know, the longer you wait to release, the more engagement you can potentially lose. So that investment pays for itself. So, yeah.
Yes.
Beautiful. Okay. So I think I'm going to play a video next that Jay does. So,
Right. Yes. This is a video that we release. This is the 48-hour special one, right?
Right. So I think Jay talks to the organization. It's a video he makes for each organization that he photographs. He gets in front of the camera and he gives them the rundown on what's important as far as opting in to get the text notifications. And also
go ahead.
Special offers, right? All right. You ready?
Yes. Yeah.
And one thing I want to say, I know not everybody wants to like sit in front of a camera and, you know, talk to the camera. Take it from me. Like I'm like an extroverted introvert, but like that, you know, I get it. It's a little nerve wracking. It took me a while with webinars, but you know, I think in general, videos are a really effective way to get information out to people. Everybody's looking at videos all day on their phone, every single day.
They are.
They're not going to read marketing, you know, hopefully they do. But you know, yeah, as a parent, like I look for like the giant bold sentence on a piece of paper, and then I move on. So I think it's a really cool thing to implement. Okay, so I'm going to start this. And
hey guys, this is Jay with Smacks Photography. We're excited to bring you a new 48-hour special. For just $119 per athlete, you can purchase all digital photos featuring that athlete, including individual photos, team photos, and any sibling or buddy pictures. This offer is per athlete, meaning the $119 applies individually, does not cover multiple siblings. To take advantage of the deal, use the FaceFind feature in the PhotoDay app to locate your athlete. The promo is only available through FaceFind and lasts for 48 hours. After the 48-hour window, digital files will still be available at regular price, starting at $35. If you guys have questions, you can always email us at j@smacksart.com. That's j@smacksart.com. Thanks so much. We'll see you soon. Bye.
The main thing for us in particular is that we want to make sure everybody's opting in, right? So we do send out, Jay makes up a video. He makes sure to put the header in there about per league, about their opt-in code, right? Okay. And then we send it out to everybody because you have to consider, like, you know how people always, you get some photographers and they brag about their paper order form, you know, percentages. But the opt-in code is a lot like the amount of people you want to opt in. That's the most important thing. It's like, that's like handing out your paper order form, right? It's like the pretend paper order form that you're handing out to people. So, so even though it's not actual piece of paper, it's still something that you need to, it's that piece of marketing material that you do need to get out to everybody. So, so yeah, so I do send out that marketing flyer. Actually, as soon as I get the league, I usually send that out. I remind them to, like, a few days before. Oh, there goes Stevie. A few days before, I remind them to send it out to all their parents. And then we actually have that video that Jay also sends out to everybody. And that just informs them on, you know, the buddy shots. It informs them about, you know, like how to take those, the opt-in code, about the advance pay. For us, the advance pay is $40. So it just explains all of that. And it puts a person, right? Like you see a person. So, and then they love it when they see Jay.
Right. I think that's one of the things that Jay does really well is is the face of Smacks. It is Jay from Smacks for sure.
Right.
Okay, let's see. And I think we kind of goes along the same lines. So, you guys are, you want to do certain things to make sure you're successful with each organization. So these things are some of your focuses to make sure that you are successful. If you want to touch on these.
Yes. So public galleries for us, I know there's some programs, some school you have to do private, but if you don't have to do private, don't. Because what happens is that you end up, when you have to do a private gallery, you have to compile all the emails, the roster. This way I can get 1,000 kids, and all 1,000 kids in a public gallery means that I have one code. And so if I have one code, I have the least path of resistance, right? Like I don't want all the emails of the parents saying, hey, I didn't get that marketing flyer. Where is it? It got sent to spam or whatever else. This way, if it doesn't get to them marketing wise by the flyer, hopefully it got to them by the Vimeo that Jay put together. Or maybe they're showing up to picture day and my salesperson is like, here's the opt-in code, opt in with this code. Or here's, for us, we create QR codes. So we just put those up on an A-frame, and that's all they have to do. That's the easiest way to get everybody to opt in. And so if you're not doing it that way, just consider it. Like there's no reason to make things harder. The only reason you have to do a private is if you're forced to, but there's a lot of programs. If you just go in and say, hey, is it cool if I just put everybody up into one gallery? They're going to go with it. And I almost never use private galleries. Private galleries are when I have to give a league-wide item, and that's the only time.
Okay. So with public galleries, there's one code, and that's really you send the code out in all those different ways, and then you get the opt-ins, which I think it's important to note with opt-ins that they're getting a text message. So like emails are great, but people check their email maybe once a day or whatever. Texts, they get a text on their phone, they're going to pay attention to it. So that's where opt-ins are super successful. I think if there's one thing that you take away from this webinar is opt-ins are important. Like if you can get, as many people as possible opted in, you're going to have a great rate of success. And the more ways you can get that opt-in code out, the better.
Right.
Yes,
I agree with that. And then what it says here is that offer a good amount of images. Now for us, we offer, we have at least 5 progressions for us. We turn those into black and white. And then for me, I do offer the team photo. I do offer that as like a digital. So I don't limit that by any means. So that just means, and for us, like we take a smile, a game face, and a silly photo for the team photo. So so that even gives them like more options, to purchase. So the more that you purchase, the more that you offer, the bigger your storefront's going to be.
Definitely.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So let's see. So I think this is where we get into some of the newer things that have been implemented. Photo Day came out with Download All this year. And I think you guys putting that into play has driven your results up a notch.
It's been great.
Yes. So you want to talk about that?
Sure. So I apply that to pretty much all my galleries. And what I do is on the Download All, we only offer the Download All for 48 hours. That's it. So I have a 48-hour special. It's Download All. I go into the marketing flyer and I put a certain wording in there. And with that certain wording, it lets them know that normally my one digital is going to be $34.99, but my Download All price for 48 hours is going to be $119. And I've had a really good success rate with that $119 rate. For whatever reason, it's just like something that I felt like 99 was just too cheap for the amount of images that I was offering. And then 109, it was like right there on that cusp. And then I thought, wouldn't it be great if I could get 119? And so that's the number that I stuck with. It's kind of like, like I said, like I start with the number and I kind of work backwards from there. So that's what I did. I just started with 119 and I said, if this ends up being a big bust, I'm going to bring it back down to 109, but I started at 119. I've been really happy with that. And again, this is on a volume shoot where we don't do composites. So we don't have any like that back end work where we're putting money into creating any type of images. For us, we're just shooting, editing super quick, and then throwing them online. So with the download, I offer it only for 48 hours. And that's it. Once I'm done with the 48 hours, I do revert back to like the regular tiered pricing for my digitals. And I find that when I do that, it's like I'm satisfying everybody. I'm satisfying the people who want to download everything. They get that download all, right? I set out the marketing flyer. They're like, oh, I can buy all the images for this price. And they go in and it's like the shopping cart part of it. It's like that 119 price is like everywhere. Or the right.
It's the first thing they see next to the images, and it's all the great images. They're like, yeah.
I love it. I think it's so good. And for me, since I've always offered a 48-hour special, and so I have trained my customers. I've educated them on how I do things, right? For me, if this is how I'm going to do it, this is going to be my driving force. Again, I never let my customers dictate how I'm going to be running my business. So for me, I say, okay, 48 hours, I'm going to offer download all. Then I'm just going to go back into the pricing and I'm just going to revert back to the old pricing. And I never get any pushback. If I have somebody who's like, oh, can you please turn that back on? I forgot. I'll throw it back on there. I don't care. I mean, because they probably will spend more money on the download all than they would on just doing the regular, like getting a dumb package, right?
Dumb package or packages.
Oh,
I mean,
but it's been really huge. Like I feel like our numbers, like we're getting insane amount of PD 100s because of that.
Yeah, that's I guess why it's good that you didn't do $99.99 because people are like, I'm 1 cent away. Sorry. Lots of PD 100s.
Yes.
Well, I think what's key here too is like you said, the download all is like front and center. And it's very simple. I think like simplicity is key with online. I don't know if you guys like shop on, when I'm shopping online, the more options I have, like I would spend like hours looking at those items and then I might not end up checking out for days because I just analyze everything. So the easier you can make it for your customers, the more simple you can make your storefront in general, the better. And then download all takes that to a whole nother level. So
right. Well, I'm a big believer in simplifying your order form, right? Even when we had a paper order form, I only offered like 4 different packages, I think it was 4 or 5. And I try to make things as simple as possible, even though, some people were like, oh, I feel like I'm filling out my taxes. And I was like, I promise you, it's not that bad. And I wish it was better. And then with Photo Day, it's better. But I'm a big believer in simplifying. I actually have a very close friend of mine, and he works for a major franchise. And it was so interesting because he gave me some information last year, and he said, you'd be surprised. It was a fast food. And he said, you'd be surprised. He says, we went from offering small, medium, large fries. He says, now we only offer large. We took off everything else. And that's it. And he said, sales went up by like however many percentages. He says they did that with everything. Like they no longer offer the small, medium, large of the shakes. And they just so they offer, and as a consumer, I had no idea that had even happened. There was like no talk of it. It just happened. Right. And so just on that philosophy alone, I thought, well, let me give that a try. I need to really look and reformulate what my package pricing already looks like. And at that point, I had decided on my own that I was going to redo my packaging, redo my advance pay. And then all of a sudden the download all hit. Right. So it's like I had all these, it's kind of like, it was like a perfect storm of what happened. But I was really able to look and dial into my pricing just with that, just with those like, and it was like a very random conversation that we had with him. But
that makes a lot of sense.
It definitely helped. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think too, like, you know, I was talking to somebody the other day, it's like, your customers don't often come in and they're like, oh, I want 3 8x10s, 2 3.5x5s. Like a lot of people don't really know what they want in terms of print sizes or whatever. You as the professional, you're setting up your product offering and your packages and showing like, you know, here's our different options, you know, instead of the other way around. So.
Right. And like all of our packages, like even our print packages, my packages alone, I think maybe there's one package or so that I even offer like trinkets. So for me, you know, like if I have a package, I'm going to make sure that it's going to be about my package for my actual cost is going to be no more than 10%. And so if you're offering a bunch of trinkets, just offer those on the side. Don't put the trinkets into the print package because
not doing anybody any favors.
Right? You're not doing
yourself any favors. Yeah.
Myself, especially if I have to pay for the shipping on that. If I have to pay for, if I have to give a percentage back, which a lot of the programs we do. So, so yeah, I keep it just as prints and my customers know that. So,
right. The people who are looking for trinkets, like they are already under the assumption that's like kind of like an added product.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, cool. Well, I do have an example of the flyer you talked about that details the download all.
Yes. So the 48 hours. So what I do is as soon as I open, as soon as I release the gallery, right, is that with the marketing flyer, I just go into Photoshop and I have I have my QR code. That QR code is actually going to it's going to shoot straight to that video that Jay creates, right? And I think it's the one that you have there. That's a Vimeo.
That one. Yeah. It's in the chat. You guys.
Yeah. So if you want to watch it, it's right there. So what that does is like, that goes to everybody. If they have any questions, they can see Jay in the video. Just watch the video, right? But so the QR code is going to direct them towards wanting to purchase the download alls. I have a picture of their league in particular, like usually I put the silly picture up, but and then in the wording, I'm going to let them know that normally it's $34.99 for one image. So when they go in there, and I don't put any pricing like on this one here, I think I might, no, I don't. In this one here, I don't ever put any pricing into it because I want them to go into, I don't want them to like get turned off, you know, by the idea, you know, it's kind of like, you know, you want them to
120. Okay.
Yeah. You want them to see the images. Yes. You want them to own the images in their head. You want them to be like, I want this. I want this. Well, oh, by the way, I have like 4 images that I really like and it's going to be cheaper. And then by then when they go in and they look and they see the download all price, they're like, well, this is cheaper than me paying $34.99 a piece, which of course it's not, because when I go back to the regular pricing, it's going to have the tiered, but my tiered pricing, the $119 is a really great deal. So if I can increase my average order at that point with the $119, which it's been successful so far.
Yeah, I think too, your customers, you know, like your customers are matured with the photo day of it all and y'all's pricing. Like they've kind of seen it season over season. So they probably remember like, hey, I paid $120 for 4 or 5 images last time. Like, you know, so I think that's another benefit of switching to download all if you have been using tiered pricing with Photo Day.
Yeah. Yeah. And so I've seen in some of the Facebook groups where, you know, it was mentioned, it's like, I'm doing the download all, but what should I do about the tiered pricing? Or so this is like the best of both worlds. It really is. And if you accidentally keep the download all price up for longer than 48 hours by accident, it's no big deal.
Right.
Right.
They'll probably just be excited that they still get the deal. They're a day late. So.
Right. Like, don't like stress out about it. There's some people that are like, oh my gosh, this means now I have to do this. It's like, and I think, no, I mean, you eventually have to do it, but this is not something to make your life harder. All it's doing is making more money for you. So that's a good thing.
Yep. The more digitals you sell, the better too, because they are high value, high profit margin. So
yes.
Well, on that same note, our team today used data from y'all's jobs to kind of see the increases that have happened since you switched to the whole download all for 48 things. So you guys had a 30% lift in AOV in the jobs that we analyzed and a 27% lift in revenue per subject, which is a really awesome number.
That's crazy.
Yeah, this was really, really cool to see. So that's one reason why this webinar is super exciting. But yeah, just parents acting immediately. I think just because of the ease of, you click in and you get all images, especially if they're going through and they're looking at the lower packages and they're having to pick each image when they realize that download all is just like a straight path to getting all your images. That creates, it's a quicker buy, check out quicker. And then higher value orders, because it's kind of an upsell, they just can jump right in, do the download all, as opposed to just getting one of your mid-level packages. So.
Right. And one of the good things that I didn't touch on, and it was on the last slide, is the sense of urgency. Like you said, like for me, when I offer a special, my customers will always know that that's going to be your best offer, period, at the very, very beginning. I don't go back like Mother's Day special or Father's Day. And I used to think, like, when we first started with Photo Day, I was like, oh, this is going to, this might be the best thing. I might be able to offer, this image for Mother's Day or whatever. And in the end, I just found the best thing is just to do best pricing at the very beginning. And this creates the urgency. For us, we get probably over 50% of our orders are going to be within that first 48 hours. And it's because one, we get the opt-ins, right? And I'm not waiting for the program to take that marketing flyer and share it out to everybody. I'm like actively at all points. I am actively trying to get people to opt in. That's like my biggest thing. And we tell people, we're like, if you don't opt in, you're never going to see the pictures.
Right. You get the opt-ins before pictures are ready, not start sending it out once you release photos.
Right.
To get the whole series.
Yes, because now you want to get that entire series, and really, okay. So that kind of touches on all this, but going back to the amounts though, because I know that you mentioned like 30% increase, like, and so forth. So I do have some numbers that, so I had one league, we were at 15,900 and we had 533 kids. When we did the download all, we went to 16,800. Now, that's not a huge jump. It's like $1,000 that we went up, but there was only 511 kids for that league, for that program. So the thing is about that is that for some of these leagues, our numbers are going down, but we're increasing in price. And that's like, we're increasing our sales. So that's the thing is like, I see over and over people like, I feel like sales are down this year. And I haven't had that with one league because I've been doing the download all, because I did increase my advanced pay. There's all these things that I did. Everything, even if the numbers are coming down slightly, I'm still increasing, right? So that's the big thing.
Your profit as well, if more people are being pushed towards digitals.
Right. Yes, exactly. The same thing with another program in 2024, and I've had this program forever. We were at 25,700. There were 768 kids. The next year, when we did the download all, I had 29,000. So I've had this program forever. They're probably one of my oldest leagues, and I went up by $4,000.
Wow.
There's 20 more people. So there were 784 kids. So it went up by 20 people, but I increased it by $4,000.
Yeah, that's
I think that's huge, especially for people who are like, oh, parents are sick of buying the pictures. I mean, the download all, it gets people excited to buy pictures and to spend money. And again, it's so easy. Let me see here. I try to get a few examples. What's been really big is those smaller programs, like for us, volleyball. There's some volleyball programs, and there'll be like maybe 15 teams. In 2024 for this volleyball program, we did $4,000.
okay.
In 2025, we had the exact same number, and we did $9,300. So that's with the download all. And that's the same thing that happened with another volleyball program recently. So the smaller programs are even reacting better to the download all. I think, I don't know why, but I've really seen like an uptick with just purchasing everything and there was 200 kids in that volleyball program. So, I mean, we did it for a hockey program too. We had 50 kids. I offered a download all, and we came out with, I haven't checked the numbers recently, but the last time I checked, we were at $5,000. That was 50 kids, and we showed up for an hour. We had an hour to shoot them. So, that was crazy. And it was everybody purchased the download all.
Well, yeah, I think maybe with the smaller programs, or just in general, people might look at like big print packages and be like, I don't want to buy 1,000 prints of my kid. The download all, so realistic. Everybody's on their phones. Everything is digital. It's a really appealing product, and it's easy to buy.
It is. Yes. Yeah. Yes. So, so beyond download all. So I did, first offer, best offer. That's how I always do it. The download all for 48 hours, the advance pay. I did increase my advance pay. I was finding like myself, the only reason I offer advance pay is because of free shipping. And it's something that, because I've trained my parents on that, is that I have to continue offering it, because I kind of did the numbers on advance pay and I was like, it's good, but it's not like great. And I'm not in love with having to pay for shipping. But what I'm finding with the advance pay, so I increased it to $40 only because emotionally, when somebody spent $35 and they got free shipping, it made me angry.
Right. No.
That was an emotional driven thing. So I was like, I'm increasing it to $40. So once I did that, then I was like, well, now I have to go in with all my packages and I have to redo them. Okay. So that way the $40 doesn't cover a bunch of my packages, right? So I had to increase all of my packages. And honestly, I increased everything by some of them up to $5, $6. And I haven't gotten one complaint about increased pricing. Nobody has said one thing. I haven't gotten the first email, nothing. So, I increased that. And then my two smallest packages, they don't even qualify for free shipping. Okay. So, what that does then for me, the philosophy on that is it just drives people, if they want prints, it drives people to go to the bigger packages. And the good thing about download all, right, is that if they do the advance pay, we don't even have to use that free shipping code. Right. So they've opted in. I kind of I've captured them as a customer, and I'm not even having to even redeem that special that I offered from the very beginning. So
Awesome.
That's been nice about the download all.
Okay. Yeah. And that's really helpful with the packages. I know a lot of people, it takes them a while to figure out the strategy as far as the advance pay amount they're offering and then their package amounts. And yeah, I think using the advance pay amount to push them to like that mid-range package is really, really smart. So
yeah. And then, so then the expiration also, I do have an expiration where at the very beginning of the year, in January, I expire everything. And then in the first week in July, I expire everything. So twice a year. So that's how I'm going to base everything. So when I go into spring, I say, okay, everything's going to expire like July 11th, let's say. So as I'm creating my galleries, I know on July 11th, everything that I created in spring is going to expire on that date. And then the same in fall. And it's good. I have to say that last year we bought a Sprinter with our expiration. And then this past January, we bought another Sprinter. I was like,
if you guys want a Sprinter, then expire your galleries. That's
so we did. We went in and that's how we did it. So now we have two Sprinters, but that's how effective you can make the your expiration series, right? You go in, reach out to Photo Day, use their tools. Because they can use the tools that are in place. Don't just make it simple. Make it simple. That's my big thing is that I thrive on making things simple, making my pricing simple, the download all simple, and my marketing simple. All
and
of
then
it.
using the tools becomes simple when you choose one day. I think that's an important piece of information. Two questions here. Well, one comment. Number one, when you set the expiration date, a text goes out on that day to everybody who's opted in but hasn't ordered that says today is the last day. I think that wording that's like today is the last day is super, super effective. That's like as much urgency as you can possibly create for people to get in there and order. Now, I know you said January for fall jobs. Do you want to talk about why you choose January as the date for expiring,
Why is that? Right. Yeah. It's right after the holidays and everybody has spent their money, right? But I do it the second weekend in January. And I find that's when you start to see people. I was watching the trends and I was starting to see people go back out shopping the second week in January, right? Because they spent money on everybody else and they're ready to spend money on themselves.
I get that feeling. I'm like, all right, now I can finally spend what I want at Target again.
Right. So people are like ready to spend money on things that maybe they don't need or maybe they do need. And they finally kind of got over that holiday hump. So that's why I make it the second weekend in January.
Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense. I think it can get a little tough trying to put expiration dates like in December or whatever. I don't want to compete with Santa. Like that's not my thing. I can compete with Santa. So I find that people, if they want to buy, like you could say, well, they can buy little trinkets. But you don't want trinket money. You want big money, right? Yeah.
That's my thing.
Digital downloads.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. And you guys open those back up with higher pricing after the expiration. So you let people go in and order, right?
Yeah. Sorry, I'm choking on myself.
Oh my gosh. Take your time. Please. That's the worst.
So
expiring.
Yeah. So I do reopen all of my packages. Oh my God, listen to my voice.
Take your time.
So I reopen all of my packages the next day.
Okay.
So I expire everything. Let's say I expired them January 11th. Well, the next morning, January 12th, I just reopen everything but I have one pricing that I put up for everything.
Mhm.
And I know some people like take packages out, and I think and only offer things like at an a la carte pricing. And I don't disagree with that. And I think I might move to that model.
Pretty cool. Yeah.
I think it's a good idea. Right
Simple.
now I have it where all my packages are $10 more, but I actually kind of like the idea of everything just being a la carte at that point.
Totally.
Yeah.
Do you keep, is your pricing the same for all sports that you do, or do you guys have?
No, I do have, during a regular season, I do have like my regular, like generic, like just your run of the mill generic pricing for the leagues, whatever. But then I do have I do have a price sheet for specialty, and that's going to be gymnastics. High schools are going to fall into that. Like I have one specialty, one generic, and then I do have what's my other one? Those are my main two.
Okay.
That I use. Yeah. It's either this one or that one. That's how I kind of do it. I try to, like, again, I try to make it as simple as possible. So when I redid my pricing this past season, I took all of, like, I always had a generic price sheet, but then I took all these, like, I had like 10 different specialty price sheets, and I took all of them and I just put them into one. So
okay.
When I did that, I was like, okay, what am I going to be happy with for high schools if I offer this price, or if I offer this product? What am I going to be happy with for gymnastics if I offer this price? Because they get about the same amount of love. The ones that have that take longer for their photo shoots, or if we have to offer like smoke or lights or anything, those are going to get the higher price sheet.
Right.
Everybody else is going to fall into this one generic price sheet, and that's how I keep it.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay, so key takeaways. I like this slide. I feel like it's kind of a checklist for everybody watching. You can review all of these things and see how you're doing as a studio with each one. And that can kind of help you figure out where you need to focus to improve. Simplicity plus urgency equals growth. I think that's a good one. And opting in, getting opt-ins, huge.
Yeah. I mean, we focus so much on that opt-in that, all the different steps. And by the way, we go over a lot of these steps in our Boatwright Bootcamp. Ding. Boatwright Bootcamp. We do go over so many different ways, like how we drive that, how we drive that train, because we want to make sure that we are getting a lot of opt-ins, making sure our customers are well aware that we're coming, how we're offering the pictures, and what it looks like. And then what's our next thing? Let's see. Download. Yep. I like the download.
Yes.
Best offer. Yep.
Very important.
Yes. Price with confidence. I probably love that the most. Take away, take your price sheet and look at it and decide, instead of maybe offering like a pro print magnet, and the wallet magnets and a regular magnet, and maybe like this other size, like
you choose. Yeah.
Offer two, just stop.
Your customers don't know the lab has 6 different magnet options.
They don't. And they don't need to know that. And all it does is just, a lot of the times, like you said, what happens is that people get paralyzed, right?
Yeah.
If you force that customer to think, oh my gosh, what size magnet do I want? Then you just stopped that conversion, right? You just stopped it, right? You just stopped it. So whatever you can do to keep that ball rolling, make it simple so that, yes, people will go ahead and just place that order and just be done with it. Yeah.
Beautiful. I think, let's see. So, and here's our little quote for Download All and how it changed the game. So parents can grab every image in just 2 clicks, 1 to find, one to buy, and it resulted in higher average order and higher revenue per subject. So huge takeaway from this webinar. Let's do some questions.
Do we have any? Let's
Totally.
see. Does anybody have? Oh,
So what editing service do you guys use?
we use Imagine.
Okay.
And we do have a profile in Imagine. We have a lot of pictures that we submitted. So when you first start with any of them, you have to like submit maybe 5,000 pictures or so to create your own profile. Now, if you're not interested in doing that, we do have a profile that's ready to purchase, and it fits us in particular because we shoot against, we don't do composites, but we do the natural light, not natural light. I'm so sorry, but the natural field of play pictures. And so that it's set up for that in particular. And so that's ready to go. And we have like, I think like 200,000 images in it or something stupid. Nice. So it's built out. It's built out. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Another great question. Do you get opt-ins because you don't have email addresses? She says she gets email addresses ahead of time, so doesn't push the opt-ins initially, but wondering if she should.
Yes, I would. So I don't get email addresses. All I have to do on my end is send out that one code. If you are getting email addresses, I mean, that is helpful. I'm not sure.
That does push the opt-in.
It does, right?
Yeah.
I just know that for me on my end, for me to like then go and take the email addresses and like plug them in and then, which I know it's not hard to plug in, but take that and then kind of create a marketing with that. I mean, yeah, you could. I mean,
just be a slower leak with emails than if you just get the opt-ins. But you can do both. I mean, you can send the emails out, the email addresses, and send something to the league to send out and have in-person marketing. Those are all going to in turn point towards opt-ins. And the more you can get, the sooner you can get them, the better. Yes.
Right. Yes.
Okay. So Amy asks, I know you mentioned a league-wide item, and that's the only reason why you use private galleries. Do you want to just touch on what you mean slightly?
Yes. So there's some programs that we have to do a memory mate for every single athlete, and the program pays us so much money for every single memory mate. So let's say there's 100 kids. I'm going to get the roster of 100 kids and the parent emails. We're going to do the capture app, but it's going to be a private gallery at that point, and so that way I know which kid goes where with what picture, and that's the only time I have to do it is when we have to offer the league-wide memory mate. That's when I want to know who the kid is. It's because I have to provide that. Otherwise, I don't care who you are.
Okay.
Right? I don't have to worry about that. Like my customer is going to be my board member. And of course, my actual purchasing customers, that's like another tier underneath that. I don't necessarily need to know who you are.
Okay. And then kind of piggybacking off that, I know there's questions about how download all works in the public gallery. Of course, when you do it with private, download all is all images that are matched to that subject. With public galleries, it works using face find. So when they click it, it prompts them to choose a face from the photos that they've favorited, and download all is only going to be eligible images that are eligible for download. Like if you take the team photo off, which Carinna says she doesn't, but with that face in it. So that is what's preventing customers from getting multiple kids or getting the entire 1,000 image public gallery. They're just getting the images that have the face in it. And it's important to know, I kind of forgot about this. Whenever you are thinking about selling download all, if you are doing photos where the face is slightly obstructed, like a helmet or a profile shot or whatever, where face find might not be it might not work for those images, then you might want to consider a private gallery, so that otherwise they won't get those helmet on shots or whatever, because the face is not.
Right, because you can't see it. But one way that we get around that, if you decide to only offer it for 48 hours, is that the people who are purchasing the download all, if they're missing anything, they usually email me and they say, hey, I didn't get these images, and I just send it to them then.
Right.
I tell them, go ahead and just proceed. Just go ahead and purchase the download all. And I say, go in and tell me what are the JPEG numbers that you're missing.
Yeah. I mean, so
That's
do you feel like that's like, do you do a lot of jobs that are like that, or that's just really a few and far between thing?
It's a handful, maybe one a week that happens, because Jay's doing like some extra special shots and, but it rarely happens, but it's an easy way just to, I don't want anybody to have like a roadblock to not use download all simply because, they're taking these other extra shots. Just keep going. Just use
like
it.
if you have 20 emails of that a season, and it's a very small amount of people. Yeah. You got to weigh.
Yes.
So yeah, that makes sense. Just something to keep in mind. Okay. So people, somebody said, what if they choose advance pay to get the free shipping, then use download all? They can see parents wanting the cost of shipping discounted from their download all order. Have you ever run into that?
No, I haven't had the first person ask me. I would let them know that they got the discount by me offering the download all. Right.
That was, that's an offer.
That's the discount. That's the discount. Right. And they
course.
might be like, well, I wouldn't have purchased the advance pay then if I would have known that. Well, that's fine. Just don't do it again. Just don't purchase the advance pay next year. I promise you like this, if that's like the most of your worries, then I'm not quite sure what to say about you.
I mean, yeah, if you want to give it, do it, then give them a discount. If you don't, but just expect them to ask that every single season.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. So no, I don't have any problems with it.
Yep. Okay. So, Tom asks, do you charge more for high school or for youth?
Yes. So we do have that two different price sheets, right? So we have our regular generic price sheet, and then we have the I guess you could call it kind of the private gallery, not private gallery, but just a specialty shoot. Okay. Yeah. Because it doesn't apply to private galleries. Yeah.
Right. And so high school pricing is higher.
Yes. High school, gymnastics, anything that's going to be kind of like, smoke and lights. Right. Kind of shoot.
Maybe more images.
Yeah.
Okay. More poses. Okay.
Yes.
Let's see.
And then I do, which by the way, I didn't mention, the same thing happens though with the download all on those, is that the download all for that price sheet is $149.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Yep.
What's your single digital?
34. Yeah.
Same?
$34.99. When I go back, single digital is just $34.99.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So Christy asked, for public galleries, do you use Face Find? She doesn't want everyone seeing all the photos. What's your thoughts on that?
Okay. I do allow, I have all the toggles on, right? For Face Find, all, and then tags.
So you allow all photos as well?
I do. I don't know. I guess I allow everything. And I guess my question to you would be, why don't you want other people to see each other's images? Now, if you find that you have a few people, pushing back on that, you could always put something out there that says, with the board person, your contact person, say, hey, if anybody has any issues with having their pictures all up in one public gallery, then have them contact me, which, I mean, okay, so I've been doing this. I've been doing Photo Date exclusively for 5 years now. And I've only had 2 people ever. So,
interesting.
Ever who've contacted me and said, hey, I need for you to remove my kid. So, so for me, just knowing that makes it so that I don't have to have private galleries.
Yeah, I mean, I really think it's a kind of a regional thing, kind of a trend, you know. So I mean, I know the concerns are there. So I mean, just to add, if you guys do private galleries, we've really done a lot of work to make it easy for your customers to get those unique access codes. So that's definitely still a little bit more resistance, I guess, as you would put it, than just that opt-in code. But you know, there are ways to kind of keep this the simplicity of marketing. We have gallery lookup. They could scan a QR code and look up their kid's name. So, you know, private galleries, it can be pretty simple as well. Christy said that the kids say they make fun of each other. I've heard that before. I get it. You know, it's job to job. So yeah. And then Tom, last question is, how would Download All work for a group gallery? So same as a public gallery, it works using Face Find. So they choose a face that is from their favorites. And so that's with public galleries and group. And then it's going to pull all the images with that face in it. So really cool. That was like our way of, you know, at first we're like, wait, how can we do this with public galleries? But the answer is right there. It was Face Find. The Face Find's the answer to everything. So
yeah, and that's been really good. I mean, I feel like the Face Find, I have some people, which I've seen there's been a conversation with people saying, well, what do you do with, you know, the second kid or, you know, the sibling? A lot of times the parents will get all the Download All of their kid and the siblings, right? And they're like, well, can I get a discount because that sibling photo is also in the other Download All, right? And then I get all of this one. And I'm like, okay, no.
Wait.
You don't get a discount for that. But it just happens to be that the kids are in both of them. So in the end, for me, I always think, okay, so you want me to lose money or be like the fall guy so that you could be more comfortable. And I'm like, I just don't run like that, as probably a lot of you all know. So I give a solid no to that. And I say, well, you can wait until the pictures go on tiered pricing and just purchase whatever it is that you want of the other kid. But it's going to end up being more than what you're paying for the Download All. So just go with it. Just go with it.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I think that is about it. I know we could probably talk forever because you guys do such an amazing job. Here's the cost of Photo Day. And included in these costs are all the awesome marketing features we have, Face Find, the Capture app, and so much more. So if you guys have not signed up yet, do that. And we also have a super exciting webinar coming up next week. So you guys don't even have to wait 2 weeks. It is next Tuesday. It is all about offers and incentives. It's going to be Lisa Malice. I know you guys miss her because I have been stealing her shine. So she will be on that webinar along with me and Kyle, who is one of our newer team members. You guys will get to meet him. And we're going to be talking about incentives and using them to boost sales. So register for that. I think that link was dropped in the chat. And reach out to the bubble if you have questions. That was great, Carinna. Thank you so much.
Sure. Yeah. Thanks for having.
Awesome. Thank you, guys.
All right. Bye, everybody.
Yeah.